So good morning or good afternoon or good evening wherever you are in the world. Talent Finders would like to welcome entrepreneur, celebrity stylist and fashion designer Timothy Snell. So welcome, Timothy.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you. So firstly, I'd like to congratulate you on all your achievements. So can
Oh,
you
thank you.
please share with our audience how your entrepreneurial journey started?
Well, it actually kind of started just by circumstance, by happenstance, I guess.
Yes.
I went to school for fashion design and studied and graduated, and I went to work in the fashion business. I did a lot of private labeling designing for designers. I did private labeling for Macy's, for Bloomingdale's, Target, Lane Bryant, just to name a few. And I did it for a little while, and I just kind of felt like there should be more, or there was more. So I eventually decided to get out of the business. I took a bit of a hiatus, and then this opportunity was presented to me to be a fashion editor, then turned fashion director for a fashion magazine. So after working with celebrity men and women, dressing them, it turned into a full-blown career for me.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So you've had such an incredible career thus far with a number of awards under your belt and are also known as the man behind the curve. So can you please
Right.
share with us more about this? And having won so many awards, did this open other doors for you?
Well, yes, it has. It's been incredible highs and incredible lows in this business. You know, this is a business of creatives, and creatives, we are free thinkers, free spirited, and with that, it comes a lot of good, bad, and indifferent.
Yes. And very competitive, I would imagine.
Very competitive, but I had to find out a way to make a niche for myself and
Yes.
something that I knew that I was good at and something that I could do. I knew that I could dress all women's body types and even men's body types, but I felt there was a lack of diversity when it came down to dressing women with curves.
Yes.
Especially coming from a man's point of view, there was no one speaking out on that with my expertise and my experience.
Yes.
So I took it upon myself to create that vehicle for myself to become the man behind the curves. And I have dressed some of the most beautiful curves in Hollywood, and I've had amazing opportunities and stuff like that. But I wanted to make it more of the man behind the curves, not just Hollywood dressing, but dressing women with real curves and being an advocate to women for product in the store, so women could have more options to looking and dressing and feeling their best that were a size 14 plus.
Exactly. And also not all looking like Barbie dolls.
Oh yeah, or not getting what they deserve and the options that I felt could be designed especially for them and or designed, created and copied, not copied necessarily, but duplicated for them by other designers.
Yes, of course. So in saying that, fashion is really subjective. So what would you say makes your style unique, and what would you say makes you different from other designers and stylists?
Well, I think the first thing that makes me uniquely different is the fact that I'm just interested in designing and designing for women with curves. I'm interested in designing for women and bringing fashion and style to their sizes, from a size 14 to a size 26, and keeping in mind taking trend and style and proportion and adapting it to their body types, because that's really what it's all about. So basically, I know that that sets me aside in a unique way where I have a voice. I have a bevy of experience from not only going to design school, studying the history of fashion, knowing what fashion is all about, knowing how to pattern make, knowing how to drape, knowing how to lead, knowing what's important, and knowing that there's so much out there in the market that's still not out there for women with curves. I think that's what makes me unique.
Amazing. So, what are some of the biggest lessons and learnings in your career?
I think the biggest thing for me I had to learn was how to negotiate for myself, how to
Yes,
really negotiate with my agent at the time or my attorneys to get the best for me. Because sometimes when you're creative, sometimes you have to learn how to be a business person as well. And that's very
yes,
important for you to thrive in this business, is to have a business mind and a creative mind. It should be duality, but those two things should be happening. Those two things should be
absolutely.
going on at the same time. Um, I have had a lot of opportunities from doing huge major campaigns to traveling the world with clients, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I think that would be the biggest lesson for me, that I had to learn early on how to be a business person, and also how to parallel that with being creative.
Yes. And also diversify, I suppose, as well, right?
Well, we're still learning how to do that. It's like I
Yeah.
said, you make incredible money, and I'm just being really honest. You make incredible money. You either feast or famine in this business.
Yes,
And for me, I'm at a point in my career where I'm looking to grow my brand. And in addition to growing my brand, I'm looking to collaborate with brands that that would use my expertise to help their brand grow, in addition to help to make my name even bigger than what it is
yes,
internationally and on the American side as well.
absolutely. So that leads me to the current narrative that we are in at this time in our lives, and obviously it's been altered forever in this transition of COVID-19. So, um, or what would you say will change in the fashion industry going forward? And what and how have you personally had to adapt within your own business? And how do you see the industry going forward?
Well, I think for sure the industry will change. First of all, there will be a lot of catch up happening for the
Yes,
world.
yes,
Designers on a smaller level as well as a global larger level will have to play catch up with the American people,
yes,
because the American people who will go back to work, the just around the world, everybody who will go back to work and who will get back into the system and stuff. And I am in this particular, I'm in the same way too. We would be more concerned about getting ahead with our finances and getting back in position with winning in that before we spend money on excess. Now we
yes,
may spend more money on throwaway fashion, is what I call it, your lesser brands,
yes,
not to knock it, but the brands that, and you're familiar with them, the brands that know how to knock off the designers, and in a way where you still get style and trend, but you're not paying the exorbitant numbers. Now,
yes,
wealthy people will continue. They're probably, your mind would probably be so happy to get back to normal, where they can actually go shop and buy couture and buy from the boutiques, et cetera, et cetera. And I understand that. But I think there will be a huge change, has already happened to all of us.
yes.
And I think that it's a new normal. I don't know what that new normal will be.
No, I
I
think
don't,
we're still trying to discover that, right?
we're still trying to discover what that new normal will be, how it will work out. I don't know what my new normal will be personally. So I
Yeah,
couldn't imagine what the new normal will be for the world. But God willing, going forward, it will include all of us going back to doing what we love to do, and that we are rewarded for what we love to do.
absolutely. So you obviously did touch on the consumerist part, but I obviously wanted to elaborate on that. So we have been such a mass consumer, or mass consumerists for so long, and the
Mhm.
fashion industry has had a lot of heavy criticism for being a big part of environmental damage. So what are some of the actions you are taking to improve more mindful ways, both within your business and to change the current narrative? and going forward, what do you think the industry needs to do as a collective to improve and shift the industry for a more positive and environmentally sustainable industry?
Well, I think that's a lot. Okay, let me think a little bit at a time.
Sorry.
I think that probably, well, we've already started in the industry with sustainable things. We're designers are using less product that has to do with real animals and things that would harm their environment and stuff like and issues like that. I don't know. That's a really big question. I think all of that will kind of prove itself out. How will designers, how will retail, how will the consumer, how will branding change, how all of this will change to um, to make things better, more
Yeah.
accessible. And I also think, I'm a person who likes the shopping experience. I'm not someone who just wants to go online and just order and buy everything. And I
No.
really feel comfortable with knowing when we get back to our new normal, as it will be, I do believe that that will include the consumers going back into retail and actually touching and feeling and wanting to be a part of shopping, the shopping experience, as opposed to the mail experience, because we've had to be home. So I think that may make a difference.
Yes, that makes sense. So you've worked with some amazing celebrities like Queen Latifah, the late Whitney Houston, and so many more.
Mm-hmm.
You have been behind the scenes and in front of the camera, and have been part of a collective team that is the glue that brings out the best in every client that you have worked with. So can you please share with us more about how this came about in terms of the celebrity aspect and getting in front of the camera as well?
Well, the celebrity aspect came apart by me working for the fashion magazine, and then after the fashion magazine, after it closed,
Yes.
I got an agent and I started dressing celebrity, which led to me working with having long-term relationships with Angela Bassett, Queen Latifah to date, the late Whitney Houston for 15 years, and a bevy of others that I've dressed for other things.
Yes.
Here and there, hit miss and CoverGirl commercials, Olay commercials, which led to me working, being the costumer for the Queen Latifah talk show that she had for like a year and a half on CBS, which led to me doing successful fashion segments, which I was really excited to do. We were doing fashion segments that were rating higher than a lot of the celebrity guests, because I pride myself in inclusivity of everybody type when I do fashion segments, and I have real solutions for real problems, and I can bring fashion and style to everyone. And that led to me getting a TV show a docuseries called Curvy Style with Timothy Snell. It was the first of its kind. It's a TV show that was based on dressing the curvy. Dressing the curvy, showing the curvy that you too can look good, taking women that have reached a point in their life where they kind of hit a wall and they're trying to change things up and get out of a situation. And that was really fulfilling to me. I loved that show. I really, really loved that show. And so that's kind of where I am today and where it put me. I'm in a transition period right now, still doing the same thing, but a lot of new opportunities are coming my way. But I'm looking and I'm open for opportunities. I'm looking to work. I'm a collaborative worker. I'm a leader, but I'm a collaborative worker. I think teamwork is everything in making things effortless and making things fun and creating something that is worth talking about and adding to something that you believe in. And I believe that being the man behind the curves, adding value to curves is important to me.
Absolutely. So can you please share with our audience what and how your process works when working with a client? So how do you you work with color and design, and can you give us an example?
Absolutely. That's interesting. I either get a call from their assistant or I'll get a call from their publicist being put on hold for a job. Once you're put on hold for a job, you get an email later saying what the job is about,
Yes.
what it would entail, and then you work from there. If it's the Oscars, after it's the Oscars, I have a conversation with the client. I say, what designer would you like to wear? What color would you like to wear? What's the feeling that you would like to convey? So then I would call designers and get someone who was excited and wanted to be a part of dressing this person for the red carpet, because we know that the Oscars, the Emmys, the Tonys, the Grammys, the People's Choice Awards, the AMAs, the Golden Globes, the Critics' Choice Awards, all of those. I have dressed people for all of those awards. I have been fortunate enough to do all of that. And sometimes it's
That's
overwhelming.
incredible.
That the fact that I can say that I've dressed clients for the red carpet for those events, and even winners for those events, is a lot to say. Because sometimes, not just to veer for a minute, but sometimes when you're working and you don't really keep a mind check on how much value you add because you're being called to work and what these great opportunities mean, it's a really big deal. So going back to the designer, so it's a collaboration thing between the designer, between me, between the artist. It's a collaborative thing, from the shoes to the color, the dress, to the fittings, to the jewelry, to the hair and makeup. It's all team. Like I said, it goes right back to teamwork.
Yeah, absolutely. So what would you say some of your biggest career highlights have been?
My TV show, Curvy
Okay.
Style with Timothy Snell, the first of its kind ever done. Being a fashion director for a magazine that had never been done before, an award-winning fashion magazine where we won like 7 or 8 Maggie Awards for outstanding achievement in a magazine. I think it's doing amazing creative TV commercials, and but I think more importantly, probably the TV show that I did, because it reached so many people and it changed so many people's lives, from the fan mail that I got, from the texts on Instagram. It made a difference, and it spoke to a woman who is forgotten and who is not necessarily being spoken to. It really spoke to that. So that for me was very fulfilling and brought me a lot of pride and a lot of joy, that along with me and my executive producer, Queen Latifah, and Shakim Capri, was valuable. I added value to something in the world, and that was important to me.
Absolutely. So what are some of your favorite styles and colors that you like to work with and can be worn timelessly?
Well, for me, black is always a given. And sometimes I substitute navy for black. Color is very important. Some of the biggest colors for summer I'll share with you is like a peachy coral, a sky blue. It's not a denim blue. It's more like a sky blue on a pretty day, a pretty sky blue, white, cream, orange. Those type of colors are happening. I believe that monochromatic dressing is the most powerful way to dress, to me, head to toe. Also, it tricks the eye to create a one line on a person's body to make them look leaner, taller, sleeker, and, but also taking your sense of style and your body type and adapting things that work for you properly.
Yes, absolutely. So your career has been so incredible and very impressive, and you lead by example. Leadership is a big subject at the moment. So what would you say is different about your leadership style, and what do you believe needs to change on a global scale to improve the current narrative?
As far as fashion and the curvy dressing is what you're asking?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for me, I really believe that it takes a village. It takes individuals such as myself who are dedicated to really standing up and having conversations and working with retail. Retail is very important. Retail, so what people don't understand, shopping online is one thing, but the retail proposition and the retail experience is important because people are looking for experiences.
Yes.
They're looking for experiences. And as far as the plus size market is concerned, I believe when you look at the bigger department stores, I've always said, and I've always wanted to work with a major department store to create this type of feeling. If department stores would create a magnificent shopping experience for plus size women, taking the plus size women section to the next level with lights, with positioning, with maybe with maybe video screens of fashion shows of plus size women walking down the runway. Give it an experience, because all people are looking for experiences these days in every area of their life. But for plus size women, where has the experience been? And me, myself, like I said before, being the man behind the curves, and also I consider myself the bodyguard of curvy fashion in a sense of the way. Where are those experiences for them? The only way they're getting their experience is shopping online.
Yes.
Virtual shopping online,
which is not the same as going in.
It's not an experience to sit in front of a computer and order something.
No.
An experience is to go into a boutique and they have your size and it's presented in a beautiful way, and you have options of trying on 5 tops or 8 tops, as opposed to the option of just saying I can only afford to order 2 tops, but not sure if those 2 tops will work for you.
Yeah.
That's where the experience comes in, and that's where I really feel very, very driven and very, very convicted about. That's where it should be, a shopping experience for curvy women. Now, there's some major boutiques such as your Torrid, your H&M experience, your Lane Bryant experience, your Marina Rinaldi experience, who I just recently did a huge event for in Beverly Hills before we had to shut down on the virus. We did a big event. I hosted an event for them. It's those type of experience that I had over 35 guests that showed up to the event in Beverly Hills, to the boutique, and people want the experience. They want tangible. They want to touch.
Yes.
They want to feel. They want to experience.
100%. So I want to talk a little bit about PR, and having worked with some of the biggest publications, can you share with our audience how this helped your career and the benefit of publicity and being able to leverage that within your career and the importance of PR?
Well, PR is very important, and being able to be in magazines such as InStyle, Glamour, Vogue, and all of these other different magazines, Essence Magazine, Ebony Magazine, and has opened a lot of doors for you, because there are a lot of people who read who dress them. Where can I get that? Where can I go find that? That's very, very, very important. PR is important. And a lot of times PR is expensive, but it's an investment in your career, because you have people that talk for you and help you with ideas to open doors for you and sell you to manufacturers, to people who want to partner. Partnership is so important.
And also it adds credibility to your brand, right?
Credibility, of course. You're only as good as the last thing that you did.
Yeah.
We're all looking for opportunity so we can share our gifts with the world. I see myself as a creative director. I'm at a point in my life where I've done so much and I've seen so much and I experienced so much. I know that I could take what I've seen and create that type of experience for the curvy market that no one's ever seen before. Unlike it has never been done before. Now, in the straight market, in the straight market, these moments, these opportunities, these feelings, these experiences, these boutiques, are experienced on a regular basis. But there should be just as many boutiques that curvy women can experience the same thing.
Exactly. That's amazing. So that leads me to the last two questions. What are the three key pieces of advice that you would give to other entrepreneurs, and what legacy would you like to leave?
Okay, the advice that I would give to other people, first of all, I would like to say to you, there will be incredible highs and incredible lows in this business. Right now,
Yes.
I'm experiencing a low as well as a lot of other people.
Yes.
You may not be appreciated the way you want to be appreciated,
Yeah.
and you may feel taken advantage of because we are, if you want, we're hired contractors.
Yes.
You have to look beyond that and keep your eyes on the prize that you set for yourself.
Yes.
And the most important thing, and I know it's cliche, and I have to tell myself on this on a regular basis, because you know what, I keep it real. What I'm sharing with you is what I've experienced and what I feel.
Yes.
You have to keep going. I know it gets very difficult. I know that it gets very hard. I know we hit our head up against the wall. Sometimes we're just wondering, why is that happening? Why is this happening? Or why is that happening for this person or not happening for that person? Your happening is coming, and that's what I keep in the forefront. My happening is
Yes.
coming,
Yeah.
so I just have to keep my mind on the prize. The legacy that I would like to leave behind is that I've never been asked that question before. That's a really good question. But
Sorry, I know
you know,
that's a curveball.
it's a really thought-provoking question. I think on a personal note, I would like to leave behind that I loved and I was loved. And I think on a professional level, I really don't think I've reached it yet where my legacy, because there's more that I want to do.
Yes.
And I want to leave something behind in my work that will continue.
Yes.
That will continue and that will flourish and go on. And I just haven't got there yet. So I have more work to do before I can, do the legacy thing. But
Yes.
as far as the opportunities that I've had and the work that I've had under my belt, it is larger than life when I sit down and read about myself sometimes and
Yes.
write the things down that I've done. I feel so fortunate and I feel so blessed that I've had those opportunities.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for joining us today. And if people want to get in contact, or what is the best platforms to reach out to?
Best platform to hit me up on is on my email. Email me at Timothy Snell. Email me at Timothy at TempyInc.com. Timothy at TempyInc.com. And that's Timothy at TIM. P as in Paul, Y as in yes, INC.com. Or hit me up on my Instagram, Timothy Snell 1. Timothy SNELLONE. Timothy Snell 1. DM me, hit me up, and I'll hit you back. I'm really good at getting back with people and following up. But go for your dreams. Don't be afraid. I know this is a scary time for all of us, but the new normal, I feel, will be bigger and brighter and better for us. So let's just stay with your dreams. Like I always say to myself, I have a big faith in, and I'm a big believer in God. I always say to myself, and I always say to God, okay, this is the deal. You gave me these talents, these ideas, these thoughts. You gave me these longings to do. So please make opportunity for me. Create the unexpected for me. Open the doors for me. Make something unbelievable happen to me so I can achieve my goals. And in the meantime, my goal, because what I want to do will help other people. So I really feel very strongly about that. So yeah, that's kind of it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully we can have you back in the future.
Absolutely. Sounds good. Thank you, Karen. It was so nice talking with you. I hope your listeners love this today. And yeah, just keep your head up, everybody. And here's to dreams, and dream big.